All right, happy Eve Wednesday, the eve of Thanksgiving. Professor B, welcome to Niners Radio 49, and welcome to 49ers Live tonight on Niners Radio 49. Welcome to another podcast show. We're gonna have kind of a sort of a condensed show tonight. I know this is on the eve of Thanksgiving, and on behalf of Niners Radio 49 and the rest of the staff, we we wish all of you a very happy Thanksgiving. We're just going to give you up the quick up to date on the 49ers news, and we're going to with what's going on. And the Niners got back to work earlier in the day on Wednesday as they're going to prepare to take on the Buffalo Bills in an interconference matchup. That's going to be coming up Sunday Night Football on NBC this coming Sunday night. Kickoff time at 5:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at Highmark Field in Buffalo. The game time, the weather forecast is going to be pretty ugly. It's going to be possibly some snow hitting up there in western New York. So, and also the reminder coming up. I'm taking a look on the schedule for coming up. We will Chris Brown, the voice of the Buffalo Bills on the Bills flagship station WGR Radio News Radio 55 will be my guest on Friday when we have our Behind the Enemies segment as we prepare the 49ers and Bills. We will get into the history between the 49ers and Bills as well on Friday, on Black Friday as well. So hope you get a chance to enjoy that as well on Friday. So we're going to have a quick, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to hear from what the Niners saying is they're getting ready for the Niners and the Bills. They're getting back, they got back to work earlier in the day. And they got back to work. And then we will have we'll have some segments as well. So, Professor B live here at the studios at Satellite Digital Media. You are watching 49ers Live tonight on Niners Radio 49. Let's take this time out. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to 49ers Live tonight. Professor B here at the Satellite Digital Media Studios here at All right, so we continue on Niners 49ers Live, Niners Radio 49. We're having some technical issues. We apologize for that. We're going to have to try to get some better quality Wi-Fi, the speed, fast speed. We're going to have to try to see if we could get some kind of sponsorship going down the road. So we apologize for the inconvenience. Continue on Niners Radio 49. Professor B here at the Satellite Digital Media Studios. So now in our segment, we're going to get ready to do 49ers as the Niners get ready to take on the Buffalo Bills for Sunday Night Football. And we're gonna the latest video be from 49 Press Pass, and the video is courtesy from 49ers.com. So when we do these features, everything's gonna come through there, and we're gonna show you the video in just a few moments. Picking up this feed later in our podcast tonight, we're going to take a look back on this date 46 years ago. It was a dreadful day for San Franciscans, and in a way it has some history with the 49ers playing 49ers playing the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday night. It was a sad day. Niners taking on it was earlier in that day. It was Mayor George Moscone and Supervisor Harvey Milk were both assassinated by then supervisor Harvey Milk by Dan White, and we'll show you some clips of that. And right now, and we'll talk about that in a historic perspective. It had a lot to do because both the 49ers and the Pittsburgh Steelers were two franchises at that particular time were in total opposite ends of the spectrum. We'll dive into that game in a little bit. We will take a look of the. We'll take a look back in our Niners Radio 49 flashback segment, 1994. The 49ers taking on the New Orleans Saints on this date, November 27th, 1994, at the Superdome in New Orleans, as we commemorate the 30-year anniversary of the 49ers Super Bowl season. So we got lots to do on here tonight. We're going to try to cram everything we can. Right now, we're going to go to the audio feed from what the Niners, as they prepare to take on the Buffalo Bills for Sunday Night Football. And it's going to be Fred Warner, Deebo Samuel, CMC, Nick Bosa looking ahead of the matchup. And it begins. We're about to get ready to show you that clip, which begins right now.
I've been watching him do his rehab, for a while now, and been getting closer and closer. So I'm excited to finally see him out there and running around a little bit.
A lot of times say when things go well, the film doesn't look as good as maybe you thought. And when things go bad, it doesn't look as bad when you see the missed tackles that you guys had on Sunday. What caused it? What do you guys got to do to fix that?
Yeah, what caused it is just, obviously technique. You got to be able to step through a guy, wrap, squeeze, drive for five, do the small technique and fundamentals. Obviously, he was a great back. They had a really good backfield, but it's all about how we play. The swarm that we play with when you're missing tackles is not usually a problem when you got another guy or two right there ready to get them on the ground. It's a problem when there's too much space there to let the runner continue to run. We just got to continue to work on our technique, our fundamentals, and playing our style.
Fred, I'm sure it's not your intent, but when you say, you guys may not have been fully prepared for some of their run looks, people go, oh, yeah, what's all the coaching, on this team. Is that a fair characterization, though? When you say that you're unprepared, is on coaching,
Well, I wouldn't say I'm not exactly sure what my wording was post-game. Obviously, I'm emotional in that moment because of a loss, but there were certain looks that we hadn't prepared for, but that's the NFL. Like, teams aren't going to go into a game saying, oh, we've shown this on tape, let's just run that. Obviously, they're preparing for that. You know what I'm saying? So, there's certain things that you got to make adjustments to, and I think I did mention how we made those adjustments in the second half, right? Are those runs the reason why we gave up over 150 yards of rushing? No, not at all. I think all the fundamentals and techniques that I was just talking about, that's the reason why we gave those up. Those are just part of the equation, but
from looking on tape, what challenge?
Everything. I think obviously he's playing at an MVP level, has been one of the great quarterbacks in this league for a long time, and at the top right now. The things that he's doing with the football through the air, with his legs, taking care of the football. Obviously, that's been the thing that he's improved upon most is making good. decisions and taking what the defense gives you. So it's going to take all 11. It's going to take all 4 quarters.
Remember about that game in December of 21 or
20. Man, I remember being in the dig window, him fitting the ball right over my hands, and I was like, damn it, that was my op. I think I had a tip ball interception on him, but they called it back for a DPI on that in that game. But I mean, hey, he's been really good for a long time. You know, he's the fact that the things that so we'll have to be ready for him.
You guys as a team and as a defense.
I mean, I'm not exactly. With the players that we have, the pedigree that we have everything that we need in order to make this run.
Fred, it's kind of cliche, no one's healthy in late November and all that, but you dealt. It sounded like you dealt with your ankle injury for a little bit. Is that behind you?
No, I mean it's something I deal with every game. I get on that table before the game and get it shot up every single game just to be able to roll. So, I mean, but it's not an excuse. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. That's the NFL. Like you're not. You're not gonna be healthy. You got to go out there. You got to find ways to execute, to play at a high level, to win every single week.
Will that continue for the last 6 games and
We'll see.
possibly beyond?
We'll see, man. Every week, trying to just get a little bit better.
Is it something that only will really heal with with time and not playing a football game on.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fracture when I sprained it, so I mean.
What's the vibe in this locker room? I think a lot of people outside the locker room are talking a lot, but a lot of them aren't.
Well, we don't pay attention to what's going on outside the locker room, but the energy is where it need to be. It's kind of like I back against the wall, but at the end of the day, it's kind of not. We're still sitting. We can still win our division, so we just look at it go by day and kind of get these wins up on our belt. Kind of change things around for sure.
If it's a snow game like it's sort of looking like, how do you prepare differently with what you wear or how you eat? Anything different?
Definitely with what you wear for sure. I don't know about a lot of people because we had a lot of teammates go out there last game and shirtless. I was joking around with them boys. I was like, pneumonia a real thing. But yeah, definitely gonna be long sleeved up, greased up for sure. But as a kid back at home, we used to have fun in the snow. But hopefully go out there, have fun, and get it up.
You had snow growing up?
Huh?
You had snow growing up?
We used to play. We used to call it baddest man. I don't know what other people call it. Like one person with the ball, everybody trying to tackle him. We used to do that a lot. Yeah.
Devo, your stats last two games haven't been what you would typically associate with Devo Samuel. Are you, as a receiver, there's a lot that goes into that. But are you playing like yourself? Are you happy with the way you're playing?
I ain't gonna speak on that.
With how close the division is, does it kind of take away that feeling of backs being up against the wall because you guys are just a game within the top four?
Say it again.
With how close the division is right now, does it kind of help to kind of feel like it's not like our backs are up against the wall because we have kind of?
I mean, we still look at it as our back against the wall because at the end of the day, we 5-6 right now, and we're better than what the record show for sure. So yeah, our back against the wall, but at the end of the day, we one game away from still winning our division, so we kind of keep that in our head. But at the end of the day, you still want to stack wins.
What kind of adjustments you got to make for the weather, the snowy game, in terms of footwear?
Oh, you gotta be. Oh, y'all hit the media folks. You gotta be studied up for sure. Yeah. For us, you don't slip and sliding out there. But it's not too much that it's not too much here that we can prepare for. Of course, I see like 30 miles per hour wind. When we live in California, great weather all year round, so it's you can't kind of prepare for something like that. But you just got to deal with it when you get there.
You did in Green Bay 2 years ago in the playoffs in the snow. Yeah. Is that the only game you guys played in the snow?
Yeah, I believe so.
Did you guys have any foot in your?
Didn't see too much slipping going on.
Was it not expected?
What?
Was it not expected to be as slippery as it was?
Yeah, we expected it, but that's why that was, you like. Just wanted to see how.
Getting a lot better. I mean, it's you have to manage your expectations a lot of times. But for me, it's not about anything statistically right now. It's not about any of that stuff. It's just about getting better every single day. And I know I'm doing that, which I'm excited about. For me, my mindset's always the same, whether or not I have success or failures. I think when you lose and maybe you don't jump out on the stat sheet, your failures get highlighted. But I'm the same way all the time. There's stuff that happens when you have huge games that I'm upset at, and you just
change there. I'm happy. I know with time, it's going to start to come.
You see it's hard to manage that. Expectations. How do you kind of go about doing that?
You don't. All the time, so you might have to change your cleats or something, but that's about it.
What's the vibe in the locker room? I mean, you guys have been through tough times before, but injuries have.
Outside of this locker room than it is in. Our team is hungry.
When you're out there about coming off the field, because your coaches are always saying he does not want
that kind of goes on. If I feel like I handle my own snaps is a short answer. If I'm out there, I'm full speed. I'm ready to go. I think there probably would be a lot more shared if it weren't for some of the positions that our offense has gotten ourselves into these last couple weeks. And that's why I think narratives, and broad statements can always be argued when you look at the tape and look at kind of why situations are happening. So, but for us, we're just going to continue to chop wood. That's about all you can control.
Nick was talking about the same thing about. Ivan Sixers.
What are you doing and what do you eat?
I'm not doing anything. I'll be here most of the day, just trying to get ready to roll.
Kyle's exact words to describe you today was psycho in the best way possible. Is that an accurate description?
I don't know. I think him and my wife will probably agree on that. But I love football to death, man. It's something that I've dedicated my life to this game, and I have so much fun playing football, whether it's no matter what's going on. And so and I want to be great. You know, I know what I can be, and so that's something that just drives me every day. I love these guys in the locker room, man. I love every single one of them. Football is the biggest team game on the planet Earth, and I think it's fun and special because of that. And when you're a part of that, you know, you just want to give it your all.
Do you have any memorable snow games growing up in Colorado?
Bunch of them. Yeah, I think when I was 7, we had a Super Bowl at the lower field at Regis Jesuit High School. It was a blizzard, and we beat Cherry Creek Bruins, double overtime on the last second play, and that was a blizzard. And then we played in a bunch more. I think a couple of my state championships that we played in high school were in blizzards. So familiar with the snow, man. It'll be a fun atmosphere.
Were you involved in that double overtime victory at the very end?
Yeah.
How
Tipped
so?
it at the end. They tried a double pass, tipped it, and I just remember all the parents. It felt like you were playing in front of 70,000. There's probably 12 people there. All the parents stormed the field, and I actually remember crying at that game, and I think that's when I decided I wanted to play football.
Cornerback?
I was playing Mike linebacker.
Oh,
How much do you hate the Cherry Creek Bruins to this day?
Creek was our rival. Whenever we would play, I played for the Parker Hawks, and so whenever we played Creek, we called it Creek Week, and it was always a big rival. So we played. They were kind of who we played in the Super Bowl for a long time there, a few years in a row, and then it became the Spartans. And so actually, I think a couple of our coaches went to Cherry Creek, whenever
were those your first football tears?
Those are my first football tears. Yeah, first football tears.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
How did the rest help? How much progress did you make?
Made a good amount of progress for sure. It's feeling a lot better. Still need to get better before I'm ready to go. So this week will be big, and I'll know a lot more in the next couple days.
Are you anticipating practicing at some point this week?
Maybe not team, but hopefully it progresses into some stuff.
Maybe similar to what you did before Tampa.
Yeah.
Are you feeling better than you were back before the Tampa game?
Say it's close. Yeah.
How would you describe the experience of not being at the game, having to watch it on TV?
It was weird. Yeah, I haven't watched a Niner game on the TV copy in a long time, and you definitely notice a lot of different things. And but obviously, it wasn't the best game for us, so it's kind of stressful.
What are some of those things that you can use to your advantage, things that you didn't think about?
I don't know about that. Just kind of different views. You could see more, know a lot more of the flow of the game and things that are going on. But yeah.
If you do go this week, Josh Allen, what makes him so tough when playing against him?
He could do it all. He could go through reads, make any throw. He could look people off. He could run for first downs, run people over. He flops a lot. He slides. So it's tough. You never really know when to hit him or not. But yeah, he's as good as it gets.
They won't be out there practicing necessarily, but to have Dre back out there with the team, what kind of lift do you think that's going to provide?
It'll be awesome. Yeah, we've been talking, been getting my updates from him. His locker's right over here, so I'm excited for him, and I want him to get back when he's ready. So hopefully this is a good week for him.
This game is going to be on artificial surface. Does that go into your calculus at all about whether you will play or not?
No. For this type of thing, maybe if I was Dre, I'd think about that, but not with what I have.
How does the weather impact the game plan, if it does at all, for not only yourself but the defense?
I don't think it changes much because Josh could make any throw in whatever wind, and so Nick was just talking about how it doesn't really change how he plays, so it doesn't change how we play.
And what's the mood like in the locker room? I know you guys have been through some challenging times before, but injuries have really taken a toll. Seems like it's taken a toll this season, yourself included.
I haven't been hurt in a while, and it's pretty frustrating just not being in the mix. It's a kind of lonely feeling. But I'm in the meetings. I'm trying to be there for the guys as much as I can. I think the vibe's good. I mean, we definitely have everything in front of us, believe it or not. So just got to keep trying to get better and try and win a game.
Nick, my team missed tackles in that last game. How do you guys rectify that?
I mean, I think I saw Nick talking about it. Some missed tackles aren't the worst thing in the world. When you're shooting your shot and slowing guys down, it's better than being tentative and waiting for them to come. But obviously, we have to get guys down. We played probably the best running back we'll play all year last week, so that weighs into it. But yeah, you got to wrap up and not just try and go for big hits, I guess.
I think you said after the Raiders game a couple of years ago, you thought Jacobs was the best runner. Has your opinion changed at all about that, or anyone else in the running there?
No, I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I think he's the best still.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. What do you eat?
We kind of already had a little meal Monday, because Thursday will probably be pretty busy for us. So went over to George's and he had a big turkey, ham, everything, stuffing, all that stuff.
All right, that was some of the from down at 49ers headquarters early in the day. It was George Kittle, not George Kittle. It was Fred Warner, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, Nick Bosa looking to have the 49ers matchup against the Buffalo Bills come up this Sunday night on NBC Sunday Night Football. So we're going to take this quick timeout, and when we get back, we'll give you a quick on the injury front, and then we're gonna we'll go into dive into some history on this date from November 27th, 1978. Professor B here, and by the way, that was the audio feed from 49ers.com. We didn't want to do too much of the video, just wanted to do the audio visual just to out of respect, we don't want to get no copyright strikes by YouTube. Can't afford it. So just doing some of it on audio feed for this round. So let's take this quick time out. Professor B, you're watching and listening to 49ers Live tonight with yours truly, Professor B, on Niners Radio 49. We'll be right back. All right, we continue on 49ers Live tonight on Niners Radio 49. Professor B here at the Satellite Digital Media Studios in San Francisco as we continue on Niners Radio 49. So we are just give you just a update on what's going on. Brock Purdy's shoulder, he did not throw earlier in the day. Dre Greenwald returns to practice. He may suit up this Sunday night against the Buffalo Bills. We'll see. If he's not able to go, he'll wait at least one more week. Fred Warner, of course, you heard earlier in the day in one of our updates, he was playing with a broken ankle. He suffered versus New England, the Patriots, back in late September. And then Kevin Givens with his groin, he's back in practice. And just a reminder that the Niners are a game behind the Seahawks and the Cardinals for the top spot in the NFC West. Here's what's going to be for Sunday night. On Sunday, Week 13. Of course, tomorrow will be Thanksgiving Day. Week 13, it's a triple header. The early window will be Chicago, the Bears at Detroit. That's a 9:30 kickoff. That will be on CBS. And then the late game will be, the second game will be on Fox. The Giants will be traveling to Big D to take on the Cowboys at Texas State or at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Then to wrap it all up for the nightcap, Miami at Green Bay. That will be on NBC. And then Friday, on Black Friday, it will be the Raiders traveling to Kansas City to take on to the two-time defending Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs. That will be for on Friday. That will be on Amazon Prime. So we now continue on Niners Radio 49. We are going to go back in time on this date. Back in 1978, it was a dreadful day in San Francisco history, and kind of a little pop culture. On this date back in 1978, it was on a day of infamy when San Francisco's mayor George Moscone and Supervisor Harvey Milk was assassinated. And it was a horrendous day, a horrible day, as we take a look back into that, on that dreadful day back in 78. And I'm going to pull it up. Here's the front page. Oh, man. That, of course, the front page of what happened in 1978 for the San Francisco Chronicle. Moscone, Milk, slain. Dan White was held. Such a sad day. Back in late November of 78. Mayor was hit 4 times, and then as a result of that, Dianne Feinstein, who was the supervisor, was immediately sworn in, became the acting mayor, and it was such a sad day in Bay Area history. It has a lot to do with the 49ers because later that night, the 49ers were slated to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. And these were two franchises going in opposite directions, but we're going to show you that clip right now. That was from 1978, and we're going to get ready to show you that clip from This was a clip from ABC.
Earlier this month, White, who is 32, resigned his seat on the Board of Supervisors, San Francisco City Council. But White later asked the mayor...
rivalry which turned violent only 30 minutes before Mayor Moscone was to announce a replacement for Dan White's old job.
Both Mayor Moscone and Supervisor Harvey Milk have been shot and killed.
White had gone in to see Mayor Moscone and apparently became enraged when the mayor refused to reappoint White to his old supervisor's job. White had resigned several weeks ago, saying supervisors weren't paid enough, but he later changed his mind and wanted his old job back, confident as late as last Friday that he would get it.
When I leave the studio here, I'm going right to the city attorney's office, and I am very confident that I will be reappointed to my job.
But Mayor Moscone had decided not to reappoint White, and after the mayor was shot, White ran down this corridor, wild-eyed according to one witness. He then burst into the supervisor's offices, went into his former office, called Harvey Milk in, and allegedly shot him. Milk was an avowed homosexual, and tonight San Francisco's gay district was in mourning. Milk was the first gay ever elected to the city's Board of Supervisors and actively campaigned for gay rights. George Moscone was mayor for 3 years. He was a liberal who supported programs for the poor, the disadvantaged, the elderly. In 1974, he announced his intention of running for governor, but later withdrew. Only last week, he attended the funeral for Congressman Leo Ryan, who was killed in Guyana. City Hall workers were stunned by today's events, but they were also wondering how Supervisor White got through the building's metal detecting device with a gun. Police said everyone is supposed to go through the device, but apparently White went around it. So the city must cope with yet another tragedy, and some residents are wondering what is happening to their city by the bay. It is a month that will not soon be forgotten.
This is the third time in recent days that San Francisco has been stunned by tragedy. First, there was the murder of Congressman Leo Ryan after his investigation of the People's Temple in Guyana. Then the mass suicide of more than 900 temple members, many from the San Francisco area. But nothing except bizarre coincidence connects last week's tragedies with today's. We'll be following up this story tomorrow on Good Morning America and later in the day on World News Tonight. I'm Max Ross.
Wow, the pictures and the images couldn't have written 1,000 words. What happened on that fatal day, on this date, November 27th, 1978, when Mayor George Moscone died, was assassinated, him and Harvey Milk, by former supervisor Dan White, who that was one of the darkest days in San Francisco history, not to mention the fact 10 days earlier, what happened with the People's Temple mass suicide in Guyana. And it definitely hits home to me because the People's Temple, where was located in the Fillmore's Western Addition, down there on Geary between Fillmore and Steiner Street, were right. If you ever, for anybody born and raised in San Francisco, remember the old KFC spot used to be there, where fish and chips, right there, right across the street from Kimball Playground, about nearly close to a quarter or a half a block up. So that really hit close to home. It really hit close to home. As just a sad thing that happened. And then there was also the possibility that they were even thinking of canceling the game, because football in this region at that time was the last thing on everybody's mind because of what happened, the horrible tragedy, not because of what happened in Guyana, but here in the city. The mass suicide left hundreds dead in a horrible ordeal. And then Congressman Leo Ryan was murdered on the tarmac over in Guyana. So a lot was going on at that time. And, for Mayor Diane, or then now the new the acting supervisor Diane Feinstein, who ran out the rest of Moscone's term, he would take over. She would take over. Got it full time in '79. Won that election and really pulled the city together through some very rough patches, So, that brings tragedy comes. But as for the 49ers, it was a dreadful season. The Niners started that season it was a bad year from the jump. They started off the season starting 0-4. Then they, at the midway point, the Niners lost 8 of their first 9 games and struggled the rest of the way. And looking at that season, I want to pull this on my Wikipedia or just pull up the clip from that 78 campaign. Well, it was pretty bad for the 49ers in 1978. Pick up their first win on October 1st. They end up losing 8 of their first 9 games, and then they continue to struggle the rest of the way. They continue to struggle. And then they lost on that Monday night against Pittsburgh 24-7 before 51,657 at the stick. And then 2 weeks after that tragedy, nearly 2 weeks after that tragedy, on December the 10th, the Niners were able to salvage just one more win. They end up beating the Buccaneers 6-3. And then their regular season finale, the Niners end up losing to the Lions 33-14. The Niners finished 2-14, which, by the way, and this is where the Niners finished in the NFC West standings, 2-14 with the worst team in all of football. You look at they were 0-6 in the division, didn't win not one single game in the division. They were 1-11 in the conference overall. So then, as a result, the season started with Joe Thomas. He was the general manager. Pete McCauley was the head coach. Then he was fired at midseason. Fred O'Connor took over for the rest of the year. And then, of course, Bill Walsh came in that following year in '79, turned things around. While the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1978 were the opposite, because they were clearly the best team in pro football. They were the gold standard. This is a team that had already coming off winning 2 Super Bowls in '74 and '75. And this Steelers team was the total opposite. They were at their peak. That team was at their So there are some great memories of full day back in 1978, and we want to try to take a look at that clip. Well, this was or no, we're not going to take that back. So we're going to take a break right now, and when we come back, we'll have our Niners Radio 49 flashback. We'll look back at the 49ers from 1994 on this date, 30 years ago. They're taking on the New Orleans Saints at the Superdome in New Orleans. Plus, we'll take a look back of week number 13 of the NFL of 1994 as we continue to celebrate the 30-year anniversary of the 1994 49ers, who would go on to win their 5th Super Bowl in franchise history. So, Professor B right here, let's take this time out. You're watching 49ers Live tonight on Niners Radio 49. All right, welcome back to Niners Radio 49ers live tonight. Professor B here. We're at the studios and we got a few more segments before we get ready to wrap it up for this night on the eve of Thanksgiving. So we're going to go and dive into week number 13, 49ers taking on the New Orleans Saints. Little highlight package right here. Niners coming in there with a record, continuing on a roll since that ugly showing against the Philadelphia Eagles. And this is from week number 13. So this is the week 13 score. So we're just waiting for a moment to. So we're going to just give you the scores just a few moments while this thing is trying to load up. So just a reminder, tomorrow will be the high school CIF high school football championship between the Balboa Buccaneers and the Lincoln Mustangs. That will be, kickoff time will be at 11:30 a.m. local time. But this is for all the people who live in San Francisco Bay Area. And then the girls flag football championships will be also be at Kezar Stadium. Okay, so we are going to get ready to show you that highlight film right now. This is from the Niners and Bengals from week number 13 at the Superdome. They're playing on Monday Night Football. Niners are on a roll ever since that loss to the Philadelphia Eagles over a month plus. The Niners have been on a roll. They are coming into this game. 2, 3. Niners coming in with a 6-game winning streak going into this week 13 matchup against the New Orleans Saints. And the Niners have a big commanding lead in the division as well, as the Niners could sew up the division with a win over the New Orleans Saints. Let's go show you that highlight right now.
predicted. But we've got an awful lot of the season ahead of us. I think we're all very excited.
Season 4.
Young drops back to throw. Nobody open. Rolls to his left. Throws on the run. Brent Jones has it. Touchdown 49ers. Waters in the backfield. Blitz showing. Young has to throw it up for grabs, and Taylor catches the ball. Touchdown, yes, over Benny Clark.
Steve Young launched a quartet of touchdown passes to sink the Saints, and the Niners wrapped up their 10th NFC Western Division title in the past 12 years. Outs as the customary storyline, and no exception.
Pass all alone to the right flat to John Taylor. Run. Niners have the lead back. Young passes to the right sideline. Rice will get it here into the end zone. Number 137 in front of Darnell Walker.
All right, we apologize for some of the technical difficulties. So we will show you that highlight next week, Niners and Falcons. But more importantly, the 49ers go on to win that game on Monday Night Football 35-14. And that's a big divisional win. The Niners will end up winning the NFC, wrapping up the NFC West with that victory. And now has... I'm trying to figure it out. They now have a 6-game winning streak, so the Niners are continuing on the roll. And with their win, the Niners improved their record to 10-2. And we're going to take a look back at this game from week number 13. It was on a Monday Night Football at the Superdome in New Orleans. And let me pull this up. For week number 13, 1984, this was from the 49ers season. They won the NFC West title for the 10th time in the last 12 years and their 11th division title overall since 1981. But more importantly, the Niners end up winning by virtue of going 10-2. They pick up their 10th win of the season. That marked for the 12th consecutive year that the 49ers would win at least 10 or more games for the 12th straight year. This was a stretch, remember, the 49ers by a proud franchise. So now we're going to we're now are going to look into the rest of the scoreboard from 1994. We continue on Niners Radio 49 and week number here we go. There we go. So we're going to send you to week number 13 around the NFL scoreboard just a moment on our split screen. right, so okay, here we go. So it's week number. This is week number 13 NFL scoreboard. Taking a look back at this. We'll continue to have technical troubles with our Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi keep on cutting in and out. We apologize for the inconvenience. Here we go. So there was Thanksgiving action on that Thursday of week 13 on Thursday, November 23rd, 1984, exactly 30 years, 3 days earlier. It was the Detroit Lions beating the four-time defending AFC champion Buffalo Bills at the Silverdome, 35-21. Jim Kelly threw for 273 yards and 2 interceptions, 2 touchdown passes. Dave Craig, the former Seahawk, a journeyman, 351 yards. He threw 3 touchdown passes. Thurman Thomas, 17 carries for 58 yards. Barry Sanders held to only 45 yards rushing, and he did score a touchdown. Andre Reed, 8 catches. Herman Moore, 7 catches for 109 yards and a touchdown. Bills fall to 6-6, while the Lions improve to 6-6. Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys over the Packers, 42-31. Brett Favre threw for 4 touchdown passes in a losing effort, throwing for 257 yards. Jason Garrett filling in for the injured Troy Aikman for 311 yards and 2 touchdown passes. Smith, 32 carries for 133 yards, 2 touchdowns. Sterling Sharp, 9 catches for 122 yards and 4 touchdown receptions. Emmitt Smith also caught 6 passes for 95 yards as well. The Cowboys improved to 10-2. Packers fall to 6-6. And then it was the Buccaneers over the Vikings at the Metrodome, 20-17 in overtime. Craig Erickson threw for 254 yards, interception, and touchdown in that game. The Buccaneers improved to 3-9. The Vikings fall to 7-5. That was a huge upset. The Philadelphia Eagles, the Falcons handed the Eagles their 3rd consecutive loss with a 28-21 win over the Eagles at the Georgia Dome down in Atlanta, as Jeff George threw for 364 yards, 2 touchdowns. Randall Cunningham threw for 248 yards. Herschel Walker rushed 3 carries for 98 yards, 2 touchdowns in a losing effort in that game. Terrence Mathis for the Dirty Birds, 10 catches for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. Falcons improved to 6-6, while the Falcons hand the Eagles their 3rd straight loss. They fall to 7-5. The Cleveland Browns all over the Oilers, 34-10, as Leroy Horde, 23 carries for 103 yards, rushed for 2 touchdowns. As the Browns improved to 9-3, while the Oilers dropped to 1-11. The Dolphins with a thriller, come from behind win over the New York Jets, 28-24 at the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Dan Marino late in the fourth quarter, he had did the fake spike move. He threw it to, I think it was either Mark Ingram or Pryor for the game-winning touchdown late in the fourth quarter. That adds to that long-time Jet-Dolphin scrap work rivalry. With the win, the Dolphins improved to 8-4. The Jets, with that heartbreaking loss, fell to 6-6. Chicago Bears over the Arizona Cardinals in overtime in the desert, 19-16. As James Graham, 8 catches for 154 yards. Larry Sanders, the Bears improved to 8-4. The Cardinals fall to 5-7. The San Diego Chargers were a 31-17 winners over the Rams. As Nathan Means rushed for 95 yards on 23 carries. Chargers improved to 9. The Rams fall to 4-8. And then it was the Giants over the Redskins, 21-19. Rodney Hampton rushed for 34 carries, 106 yards in that game. The Giants improved to 5-7, while the struggling Redskins, who are only just 3 years removed from winning the Super Bowl, have dropped to 2-10. The Broncos over the Bengals, 15 All right, so we'll continue having problems. We have technical difficulties. We apologize for that. So the Niners clinching the NFC West. They now have a 6-game winning streak since that ugly defeat by the Eagles back in week number 5. The Niners now on the roll have won 6 in a row. They're 10-2. They clinch the NFC West for the 10th time, or for the 11th time since 1981. They have won. They go to 10-2. They've now won at least 10 games or more, 10 or more games for the 12th consecutive year. And the Niners continue to take care. They've run away. As the Niners maintain dead even ahead for the top spot in the NFC, as the Niners trying to build that momentum as the calendar flips into December, as they're trying to position themselves to pretty much run the table to get that number 1 seed of Dallas to have the home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. So there's a lot more on the line, and the Niners, there's more work than they don't saying, hey, we're not done yet. The Niners taking care of business on the road against the divisional play. This was a stretch after the win against Dallas. The Niners were playing the next 3 straight games within the division. So next week when we go back, we will take a look back at week number 14. The Niners taking on the Atlanta Falcons in a rematch. And this time it'll be out at Candlestick Park. We'll look back at that game next week on our Niners Radio 49 flashback. So finally tonight, we're going to and we will come up in this segment. We got a few more things we're going to do before we wrap it up for tonight on Niners Radio 49, 49ers Live tonight. We are going to have a couple of segments. So we're going to take this quick timeout. We'll be right back. Professor B here on Niners Radio 49. You're watching 49ers Live tonight. We are experiencing some technical difficulties. Please stand by. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. Oh, I forgot the. Oh, yeah. So, welcome back. We got it set up. Feast Niners. This is the segment. Our last two segments. Feast Niners. We'll take you behind the scenes. 49ers players that having a feast for hosting families. And then this last segment, the turkey pot pie segment. These videos courtesy of 49ers.com and 49ers Studios. So we're going to get you watch these last few sets, and then I'll be back for my final thoughts and get you what's on deck right after this. Here's the segment. We'll show it to you right now.
We're here at Levi's Stadium, and we're just having a ball, having a blast, being paired up with a bunch of families here to get back a little bit, eat a little pizza, have a little shopping in the team store, and just bringing smiles to their faces. It's been an awesome day.
I think it's just really cool. A lot of these families probably haven't had or wouldn't have the opportunity to come to Levi's and experience this moment with players. So I think it's cool, obviously, for the kids, but even for the parents to be able to have a moment like this with their children and with their other family members is just really cool. And then for me, it's just cool to see everyone's story. Everyone has a different story, and everyone's going through different things right now. We're fortunate enough to have, our families out here and have a wonderful time during the holidays. So to be able to do that for them is really special.
It gives you a perspective that it's more to life than just about football. These people that come out here, they just trying to get a chance at life. And when you come out here and you experience that, and you see other people just out here just wanting to be and wanting to see you and aspire to see you, it just gives you a sense of just gratitude and thankfulness to be able to come out here and do this.
And we got gift baskets for all the families here. We got turkeys, pies, greens, beans, tomatoes. We got all that. We love you guys and all the support. We're all grateful that we were able to spend time with you guys today. So thank you guys.
Hello, faithful. Welcome to 49ers Tailgate Treats presented by Safeway. I'm your host, Brianna McDonald, and I'm with Levi's Stadium Executive Chef, Chef Alvin. How you doing today?
Good. How you doing, Brianna?
I'm doing great. I can't wait to dig into this. Today, Chef Alvin is going to teach us how to make turkey pot pie. Perfect for the holidays. If you have any ingredients left over from your Thanksgiving feast, this is the perfect meal to make. And the faithful like it at Levi's Stadium, yeah?
The faithful love this at Levi's Stadium.
I cannot wait to see how it goes. Tell us what ingredients are needed to make this dish.
All right, so everyone should have these after Thanksgiving, ready for our Sunday game. Of course, turkey, onions, carrots, celery. We're putting corn in this case and some sweet peas. And of course, everyone's got gravy from the Thursday dinner. And
All right. Unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, we're not going to show you that last piece, but maybe I'll show it to you maybe on Friday or so when we do our Niners radio, our next podcast. But that's going to do it for tonight. Been on the air for now close to now just 2 hours, so I feel I'm getting ready to wrap it up for tonight. Would like to thank all of you for watching. We covered everything from the horrible events that happened in 1978, the tragedy of on this date 46 years ago. George Moscone, the mayor, Moscone, Supervisor Harvey Milk were assassinated. A ruthless act by the former supervisor Dan White, and then for then Dianne Feinstein, who was immediately appointed as the acting mayor, as she was the supervisor, had to make that difficult day. It was a day of infamy in San Francisco history. And then, of course, the Niners played the Pittsburgh Steelers later that evening on Monday Night Football. But the game really was totally secondary because of what happened of the current events earlier in that day. As we wrap it up for tonight, that puts us into a proper perspective on this date, and we know what happened in 1978 was one of the darkest days, not to mention the fact what happened, nor forget what happened at the People's Temple in Guyana back in 10 days earlier, what happened, led by the occult member Jim Jones and his followers, and over hundreds of people died in that cyanide Kool-Aid suicide event. Such a sad thing, not to mention the fact Congressman Leo Ryan was assassinated, and also some other people was including an NBC cameraman. Such a sad thing what happened over there. As we get ready for Thanksgiving tomorrow, I hope all you enjoy your Thanksgiving and give it time to be thankful for what we have, the blessings, what we've had throughout this time. Spend time with your loved ones, and you don't know when when they're gonna check out of here, and it could be the holidays is like, as we begin the holiday season, we get towards the stretch drive towards the end of the year. As we wind down, as the days getting shorter and shorter, the weather, the fall, the weather, the temperatures drop and dip, gets colder and colder, and we have so much to be thankful for this holiday season. It was about 5 years ago around this time, a good friend of mine's, I get to run into her, I'm not going to mention her name, and who lost her dad to cancer. And if she's watching out there wherever she is, we keep your thoughts and prayers to my friend, a good friend of mine's, who still has hard times of losing her dad to a cancer some 5 years ago. I've known her for only for 4 years, but she has that on a kind of a tattoo in the name of his memory. And again, I'm not going to mention the name, but I always have a special place, or I keep her thoughts and prayers in remembrance of her dad 5 years ago when he died, passed of his cancer. And these are was not the best of times. It was yours truly 5 years ago was the best of times. The Niners were winning. I had just got my new part-time job at Amazon, making a few bucks so I could have some stuff for the holidays and build that momentum for 2020. And then things, unfortunately, in 2020, the Niners would lose the Super Bowl, a heartbreaker. Then, unfortunately, things didn't turn out as planned. Of course, COVID wiped out the rest of 2020 in early mid-March, and the shutdowns and everything, and then had to wait really almost 2 years to get back. And then, unfortunately, more circumstances with the issues that happened at the University of San Francisco when I was doing Don's baseball, and the year was cut short. And for Coach Giarratano, he still trying to get his name cleared, and there's still a long battling process though. But But I have so much to be thankful for up to this point. Getting that check, winning that grand prize, winning one of the winners of that Boost Awards back over a month ago. I believe it was almost almost 6 weeks ago, back in mid-October, and but so much to be thankful for. Do something when you're out there. Go out there, be kind. Be kind. Give something to someone who doesn't have anything. And, of this holiday season, as we celebrate, as we kick off the holiday season, of course, it's going to be busy on Friday with Black Friday. If you got plans to go out on Black Friday, please be safe, drive safely, and, be kind during this holiday season. And we're going to be back at it tomorrow. There'll be no podcast tomorrow. 49ers Live tonight will not have tomorrow because of the holiday. I will be out, however, at Kezar Stadium to scramble some highlights for the Turkey Bowl and for both the girls and boys and girls Turkey Bowl action. The first time the girls will ever have a flag football championship on Turkey Day. And we're gonna that will start at 10 a.m. and then the boys will start at 11:30. So, again, and then, of course, a reminder on Friday on our Behind the Enemy segment, my special guest is going to be the voice of the Buffalo Bills, Chris Brown. He begins his first year as the voice of the Buffalo Bills. We'll get into Niners and Bills on Friday. And then we'll have another edition of 49ers Live tonight. Friday. We're probably going to have a short show Friday. We'll see how far we can expand, but we're going to have another show Friday night, or we'll have the podcast with Chris Brown previewing the Niners and Bills. And we're going to get into a lot of in-depth of that Niners and Bills on Friday as well. So we'd like to thank all of you for watching on Niners Radio 49 tonight on 49ers Live, as we're getting ready to wrap it up for tonight. And for all the latest news on 49ers News and so much more, go to 49ers.com. And check us out on youtube.com/@NinersRadio49. And don't forget, please, don't forget to click the subscribe button. Our goal is trying to get 1,000 subscribers. And we got a big month coming up in the month of December. We'll be doing our Niners Radio 49 holiday drive. That will be to be determined. And we'll be getting within the next few weeks. And that's going to be a fun time. We're going to be doing that this year. So for now, Professor B signing off. That's a wrap for tonight. Thank you for watching 49ers Live tonight on Niners Radio 49. 49ers Live tonight on Niners Radio is a special presentation of Niners Radio 49 in association with the Satellite Digital Media News Network, where every team has a fan and every fan has a voice, the network home of champions. Wish all of you have a very good night, everybody, and on behalf of the San Francisco 49ers organization and Niners Radio 49, we wish you and your family a very happy Thanksgiving. Good night, everybody. Take care.